Today on Dragon Ball Z, I shall be doing the Nameks. Yeah, just at the moment, I'm just going to do the flag. So I'm going to put a circle for their planet with the green for their skin. And I just think that little symbol there looks like sort of the little antennas that they swish around a bit. I don't actually know what their antennas do. Is it where their power comes from, or is it like reception or something? I'm not quite sure, but yeah, maybe blue for the water. Yeah, so blue for the water on Namek, and green for their skin and their planet. And the symbol in the middle is for them. So next, I'll look at the ship appearance. Yeah, so we go for the mollusk ships. Because that's, I believe, what they look like, you know. They look a bit Namekian, don't they? Imagine them cruising around, trading their wares. Namekian. I forgot to do the actual species, so we'll just do that. Nameks. Adjectives. You can't even say that as a tongue tire. Namekiak. So I'll make their names mollusks. Because they're actually supposed to be slugs, apparently. That's why I love the creator of Dragon Ball Z. Some of the names are so random. Or some of the species, you know. Like fridges and slugs and animals, you know. It's just really random, but I love it. So they're actually slugs. So we'll just go for a molluscoid, because I believe molluscoids are little slugs. So we choose the traits. So I know they're actually egarian, because they like to farm. They don't actually need food, but they like to survive. They just need water, but they like to eat just for the pleasure. A bit like me. The next part, they're non-adaptive because their original world experienced climate change or a freak incident where the atmosphere was affected, and only 100 Nameks survived out of a planet full of Nameks. So they got wiped out. But there's no cars on their planet, so I reckon it was something from space. It curb stomped their atmosphere. So I'd say they're strong, you know, because a lot of them are warriors, which is sweet. You know, especially Piccolo. He's epic. He's like one of my favourite characters on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, they're traditional because they listen to their leaders, you know, and their spiritual leaders. And there's also warriors, and they all follow the leaders and the teachings. Especially when their planet lost its atmosphere, they're always trying to regain the lost knowledge and rebuild their planet because it was like desert. But then they started to plant trees and stuff. So when you see it in the anime, they actually like planted a few trees back to what it used to be like, but it's not what it was. It's the planet, like I said, you know, it lost its atmosphere. So originally it was like a nice meadow world, apparently. It was just lush and they could grow everything they wanted. Namekian pears or whatnot. So their homeworld will be called Namek. And I was just reading about the star system. I think we could call it Universe 7. Now, it might be a different alternative reality where Universe 7 is, or it's Universe 6. Not 100% sure, so correct me in the comments, but I'll just put Universe 7, either one. I'll just say that's the star name, Universe 7. I could have called it Slug though as well, which would have been quite cool. Yep, and the city I'm going to choose is the Anthropoid, because it looks quite similar to the buildings in Dragon Ball Z. So we'll choose the civics. Just have a look which one sounds best. I know they do have leaders, especially spiritual leaders and clan leaders, so I'll just have a quick look what would fit. Yeah, I'm going to say they're environmentalists, you know, because they basically replanted most of the trees and they like to farm as well. And they do care about the planet. I'd say they're imperial, you know, because they do have leaders that they listen to. Yeah, I'd say they definitely have a philosopher king because a lot of their leaders pass down, you know, traditions and the knowledge, and they are quite revered in their society, so I think that would make a lot of sense for the Namekians. So as for their ethics, I'd probably say they're militarists because they do fight and defend their way of life. So I had to really think about the Namekians because, I mean, they're really cool. I used to obsess about them as a kid. I used to get really upset that their planet was destroyed. Or no, fanatic xenophiles, because they like to trade a lot with different races. You know, you have to be pretty open-minded to be successful traders like that they were. So with empire name, the Namek. The Namekian Empire. Namek. Now, before this, we've got a human, basically, so I actually forgot to do the appearance. Probably should have done that first. But we will get it done. I tried to find one that looks good. I'm a real nerd with this sort of stuff, so I want to be like, get something that's really similar. Like that guy that looks like Squidward. That guy looks like ravioli. Vegan ravioli. This guy could be an option, you know, because he does have the little things coming out of his head. He's got an emo fringe though, so Piccolo punished himself a little bit, but I don't think he was an emo. But I think that's probably the best that we can find. I mean, he's got green skin with little things poking out his head, so... and sharp teeth like the Namekians. Because I always noticed that in the series, they got really sharp teeth. It just scared me as a kid. To bite someone. The ruler. So we're going to call the ruler Lord Slug. So yes, the leader. The leader is Lord Slug. The title is the High King. I mean, he could be the spiritual leader or something, but, you know. The Crown Prince. The title. This is him there with hair. I don't really think Namekians have hair, but it's probably the closest we can get. I can't change the hairstyles either. No. I think that's what their sort of city would look like as well, you know, before the atmosphere was screwed. So we'll go next. So, just a readout. I mean, I think this guy's having a bad Monday. Look at that guy. I can't really make them all green, but, you know, I think it looks pretty cool. So, they're an enlightened monarchy. This government is a hereditary form of enlightened autocracy, where a strong emphasis is put on the knowledge and qualifications of the ruling monarch. Which is very true because, you know, they pass down their traditions and knowledge to all the other Namekians and give Nail and Dende the hope they need. So they're environmentalists. So they're basically, you know, because they're planting all the time, even though they don't like food, but they like to taste it. It's enjoyable. Completely rep them on that. and they get a pop consumer goods upkeep, which is -10, which is pretty cool. So they don't use a lot. So the Philosopher King, you know, because he's the big bugger that passes on all the knowledge to them. And you see him guarding the Dragon Balls as well in the anime. And the Fanatic Xenophiles, because they love to trade. And, you know, they just look curious when they see Goku and stuff. They're not violent like probably Frieza or the Saiyans would be. And they're militarists because although, you know, they're quite enlightened, they will defend their way of life because they had two castes, which were the thinkers and the fighters, basically. So I really like them for that because they're quite balanced. So they're agrarians, they like to grow the foods. They're not adaptive because their planet was basically screwed over and now it's a desert ball. But I like to put the continental world because that's the world they'd probably prefer. And that's what they were trying to get back to in the anime before Frieza came along and destroyed that. And they're very strong as well because, you know, their power ratings are really high up there. And I think Piccolo is actually just on par with Goku in some of the first seasons of Dragon Ball Z. He's not far off. And he's probably, you know, the second strongest amongst most of them. But, you know, then you get like Gohan comes along and he surpasses him. But, I mean, he was pretty pivotal in the first two. I still think he's a really cool character. I like him. They're very traditional as well. So they have a caste system. The warriors and the thinkers, and they really value, like, you know, the passed down knowledge. So this is their mollusk ship. It's even got the two little antennas on top. And the Namekian planet, and their flag with the little antennas, the green skin, and the water that surrounds the planet. And this guy, with his lovely beard and his 1980s executive ponytail. So guys, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. And if you don't, I'll put a special beam cannon where the sun doesn't shine.